So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming in the league that means absolutely nothing here on the channel. I am the editor of all the games, the organiser, the tournament runner, I guess, tournament operator, and I'm here to bring you a fantastic game today in the absence of Ian Holland, who we miss very, very terribly, I'm sure. This is a Zen versus Dorinthea game. Not something you really see too much of. Dorinthea isn't a hot pick right now, but that could all change when the Hunted comes out with some generic warrior support that she can access, alongside obviously the draconic warrior of the set. But Dorinthea still a joy to watch, and this is going to be an interesting one. Zen is very, very aggressive, and Dorinthea very aggressive, but in a completely different way. It's just going to be an interesting ask of Dorinthea as to whether she can race a Zen, because Zen potentially doesn't want to block, but I think Dorinthea can also capitalise on that fact as well, with a lot of non-blocks towards the end of the game in the form of like the instants that transcend and the chi cards and stuff. So maybe Dorinthea might have a chance of clinching this, but it just depends whether the output of Zen is just too much for Dorinthea. But that being said, warriors do have a very, very good armour suite, and they can lean on that every now and again. And yeah, let's just see how it goes. And before we do, let's hear a message from one of our sponsors as well. Another awesome sponsor here on The League That Means Nothing for Season 3 is My Metal Cards, who make some fantastic metal card tokens to spice up your battlefield when playing Flesh and Blood. Go and check them out at mymetalcards.etsy.com or Twitter at my_metal_cards. And make sure you use the League That Means Nothing special discount by using Let's Play The League That Means Nothing. Let's Play TLTMN to get 5% off your order and receive one of these special new tokens exclusive to this league and this league only. Go and check them out when you can. That's My Metal Cards. Let's get on with the tournament. Dorinthea versus Zen, and they're just doing a little roll-off to decide who goes first, with one of the dice falling off the table there, but it looks like Trey is the winner of that die roll, so he's going to decide who or what goes first, and he's passing it to Zach to go first, which is interesting because Dorinthea can really, really get that ball rolling with like attack reactions over the top. So if Trey doesn't block correctly, Dawnblade might be able to start humming. But we will see. Zachary playing the Grains of Bloodspill, one of my favourite cards out of heavy hitters. Just allowing resources to carry over is very, very good. And this is a good start. An Iron Song Determination to potentially leak some damage early on and not allowing Zen to filter is probably a perfect start. And wow, we got a Glistening Steel Blade as well. The next Dawnblade gets go again, and whenever it hits, put a +1 counter on it. That is insane. Couple that with the first turn of the game, an Iron Song, and Dawnblade is coming in for 4 here. That's pretty good. So, 4 with Dominate. Might buy some equipment early here. We're seeing a Wind Chakra be blocked with there. And, yep, we are seeing a Pouncing Paws being used to block out the 4. But it looks like Zachary is going to have some shenanigans. And I think I got a glimpse of an Iron Song response blue. Just pitching it up to 5. And Trey taking the 1. And, wow, that is going to trigger the Glistening Steel Blade for a counter. And now Zach can swing again for 4. Because of the counter. Obviously, Glistening Steel Blade effect is still active, but not the +1 on it. And, yeah, this is threatening another Dawnblade counter. That is pretty insane. This has Dominate as well. So, again, asking to chuck some equipment in front of this. And Trey's saying, nope, fine. It is what it is. That is a high roll if I ever saw one. And Dawnblade, wow, getting an additional counter from the Glistening Steel Blade plus the +1 counter from the Dawnblade itself, going up to 3 counters on turn 1, which means Dawnblade is going to be able to swing for 6 each turn, which is pretty nasty. That's insane. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But going over to Trey's turn now. 5 life gap already. He's going to be playing a pass over. So he's going to be able to banish a card from target opponent's graveyard, but he's going to respond with a homage to ancestors. So they're obviously both going to transcend. He's going to gain a life as well, going up to 36. And apologies for the shaky cam on Trey's side of the field here. Maybe a little bit nervous after that Dawnblade swing. But yeah, choosing to banish one of the Iron Songs. Gain a life off of the homage. And of course, both of these cards are going to transcend into Chi. So being able to potentially capitalise on Zen's ability here to go and tutor a card and create a Crouching Tiger. But of course, we've got the 12-petal Kasaya as well, so you're going to be able to gain 2 resources off of both of those transcends, which is pretty nasty, being able to get 2 resources off of every single transcend, especially when you can get those double transcends going. 12-petal Kasaya, a fantastic card, but we are going to see Zen activated. So picture Chi as a once per turn instant, create a Crouching Tiger in your hand, and then search your deck for a card with combo, which in this case is going to be a Chase the Tail. Which is a fantastic card. Basically 7 damage for 1 resource. Does it cost 1? I think it does, doesn't it? It's a 4 attack with Go Again, then obviously it gives your next Crouching Tiger +3, if I remember correctly. But that's going to go into the Banished Zone, which you can play this turn. And obviously he's going to use those 2 resources off of the 12-petal Kasaya to come in with that Tiger Taming Kakara for 2 damage. So really making the most of that 3 resources from 12-petal, and Zachary's just going to say, yep, we take the pole arm to the face, we take the staff to the face here, and we're going to see another Chi pitched into a Levels of Enlightenment. Wow, okay, so that's going to be coming in for 2 modes, choosing Go Again and draw a card by the looks of it. So that's pretty good. Still got 2 floating after this as well, so this could be quite a nice little response from Trey after that insane turn from Zachary. But I think Zachary at this point just wants to keep those Dawnblade counters on and just keep swinging, because that is a lot of value to just keep swinging with a sword of that power this early. So we are going to see a lot of the armor come out now to try and just soak up some damage, and this Crouching Tiger is going to come in for 1, I believe, because of the Tiger Stripe Shuko, so he's going to take that damage as well. And yeah, here comes the Chase the Tail out of the Banished Zone because of the activation of Zen earlier, which is going to come in for 4. Yeah, it did cost 1 after all, and obviously it's going to be followed up by a Crouching Tiger after this as well, I imagine, for another 3 damage. So 1 for 7, basically, which is pretty good. But yeah, Zachary just saying, yep, I'm not going to use any cards in my hand here. I want to capitalise on the fact that I've got a huge Dawnblade, and that's going to keep coming in. I'm just going to use my armour to try and keep that life differential and keep swinging back this huge Dawnblade, sorry. Dawnblade. Who used to call it that? Someone in the Go Again Gaming Discord used to call it Dawnblade. But we are going to be cracking the Pouncing Paws here to get another Crouching Tiger in the Banished Zone, which is going to be coming in for 3 because of the Chase to Tail buff behind it. Oh, sorry. No, this one's coming in for 4 because of the Tiger Stripe Shuko. Never mind. But there we go. Yeah, the +1 from the Tiger Taming Kakara earlier. So this is now coming in for 4. Excuse me. My maths and reading of card ability is not very good. But coming in with the Crouching Tiger for 4, Zach choosing to block with 1 card at least for 3, so it's going to be leaking 1 damage, going down to the same life totals, 36 to 36. And we still do have 1 resource after this, so what is going to follow this? Okay, Tiger Swipe coming in for a 0 for 4. And this is just going to create a load of Crouching Tigers in the Banished Zone, which unfortunately can't be played. Sorry for the shaky cam here. Not something I could really fix in post-production. But yeah, Tiger Swipe, unless it has Go Again. Well, this does have Go Again. But you can't really do anything else, because the Crouching Tigers don't have any buff on them. So that's the issue with Tiger Swipe now, is that obviously you need something to buff all of your Tigers. That's what I was in the tank trying to think of why it doesn't really work as much as you'd want to. Without obviously Art of Wars and stuff, you don't really have a blanket all of your attacks get +1, I don't think. Is there something that does that? I can't remember. But yeah, Tiger Swipe, just a 0 for 4 Chain Ender in this particular case. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's going over to Zachary's turn now, who's taken 4 damage over that turn, but a load of equipment's gone in the bin to conserve life here, to just make sure that he can continue to swing this Dawnblade and capitalise on its large effect. So yeah, pitching a Warrior's Valor to come in for 6 with this Dawnblade. Having a 6 power weapon for 1 resource is absolutely insane, isn't it? Let's be honest. But of course, the Dawnblade does need to hit the opponent to retain those counters. So this is the question that Trey is now asking himself is, do I want to try and block this? It's clear that there's another reaction in hand, or it could be a bluff. But do you want to try and play that minigame of trying to get those counters off of the Dawnblade when you've had a start like that? I think Trey is just thinking, I just need to race now because I can't outvalue this Dawnblade by trying to block, and Zen might not have a blocking hand to be able to use. So it's an interesting question that he has to ask himself, and yeah, he's just going to take the whole damage, and Zachary is playing with his Grains of Bloodspill, which it looks like he's going to try and get a resource into, pitching a Sharpened Steel, so he's just going to be creating a Vigor token here, which is going to carry on to the next turn, and he's just going to Arsenal and pass. Interesting. So only getting through 6 damage there, keeping all of the counters on Dawnblade, but having a Vigor into the next turn is good, and obviously establishing the Arsenal is going to be good for a crackback. And that Vigor and Grains of Bloodspill is just really good, because that resource that you bank there can just carry on and carry on and carry on and carry on. It can really make a difference in crucial moments. So we might even see that in this game here. And we're going to see a Levels of Enlightenment pitched with a Wind Chakra. So this is just going to be coming in. Oh, before that resolves, we are going to see the Drop in the Ocean resolve on that. So he's going to give the Levels of Enlightenment -1, because that's the only target he can target right now. But the Levels is going to have 2 modes on it, and obviously he's going to, while that's still on the stack, activate Zen to go and get a Crouching Tiger in hand and a card with combo that he can banish and play this turn. And by the time this is all resolved, Levels is going to be coming in for 2 modes, which I imagine will probably be draw a card and go again. Obviously, the Drop in the Ocean has to target the only attack on the chain, which is this, and that's obviously going to be, comes in for 3 at its base, so it's probably going to be, well, it's definitely going to go down to a 2, because he has to target it himself, and he's going to be using it for go again and draw a card just to continue the combat chain, I imagine. So yeah, this is going to resolve. He's going to draw a card, and it's going to go again. Of course, Zachary is just going to take that damage to the face, going down to 30 apiece here. Dory versus Zen. And Zen, of course, 3 resources floating because of the 12 petal stuff as well. Coming in with 100 wins for 1 damage. Just going to take it. Makes sense. Another 100 wins. So this is going to be coming in for 4. Because of the 100 wins that was played before it. So that was cool. Nice little combo there going on. A bit of E-Honda. If you get that reference, fair play. Zach is just going to take that as well. Going down to 25. And the Hurricanes and the 100 wins are blowing the camera, it seems, here. As we carry on in this match. With Trey on the play with this having go again. Which is pretty good. And here comes a Kakara. Coming in for 2. And using those 12 petal resources again to swing this damage for 2. And Zach's just going to be taking it. Here comes a Crouching Tiger. That's going to be coming in for 1. Oh, sorry, 2 because of the Shuko. And Zach's probably just going to say no blocks. Yep, take it down to 21. Wow, okay. Zach's got a big turn coming up here now, though. Another Tiger Swipe coming in for 4 damage with go again. And obviously you get all the Crouching Tigers, but they're not going to be used. But this does have go again, and he does have 1 resource floating, so he still can go and play that Mauling Key, or Mauling Chi, that he fetched with Zen earlier. I'm not sure whether we mentioned that. But yeah, he's got a Mauling Chi in the Banish Zone there that he can play, and that's going to cost 1. And that is a big card, because it comes in for 5, but if it hits, it deals 1 damage. So it's a pretty big 1 for 5, let's be honest. It's pretty big. 1 for 6, basically, if it's left unblocked, of course. And Zach is going to be choosing to soak up 3 of that damage, taking 1, going down to 20 life. And, of course, the last attack on the chain is going to be this Mauling Key or Mauling Chi. And this is just what Zen does. Look at the state of that combat chain. It's another Crouching Tiger yet, though. And this is coming in for what? 1 because of the Tiger? No, he's just going to play it for nothing. And now he's playing a extremely glared card that we can't see. But luckily, I managed to catch it in post-production. It's a Mauling Chi coming in for 5. And the winds of eternity are blowing the camera here as well. Yeah, this is going to put Zach down to 14. He's taken the whole lot. Wow. Zach must value his hand a lot here because he took 16 damage that turn. No, even more than that, I think, that turn. So that's scary, but now Zen doesn't have an arsenal. It's now on to Zach to put the pressure back on and get more value out of that Dawnblade. Hopefully get even more counters. That Vigor's going to crack as well, so that gives Zach a resource. And that is perfectly converted into a Spoils of War. The next weapon attack gets +2 and go again. And obviously whenever a weapon you control hits, you get copper tokens as well. So Dory is also out there in the deathmatch arena trying to get copper. And here we see an Unsheathed, which is fantastic. This is a 0 cost. The next sword attack gets +3, and when it attacks, if its power is greater than twice its base, it gets go again. But it gets go again anyway because of the spoils. But this is now getting +5. So this is coming in for... Is it coming in for 11 damage? Yeah, wow. Coming in for 11 on the Dawnblade here. That's a big chunky number. We are going to see the Traverse used here as well. So he is going to be able to fetch a Chi for the swing back. And we've seen a Tiger Eye Reflex blocked there as well. So that's also going to create a Crouching Tiger in the Banished Zone, which he can play until the end of his next turn, I believe. Yeah, wow, what a swing on the Dawnblade. 11 Dawnblade. That is insane. Does have go again as well, of course, with 1 floating. 1 in the arsenal. I think there's 1 in hand still as well. Maybe, no, maybe not. But yeah, blocking for 4 here, I believe, with the Tiger Eye Reflex blue. And going to take 6. Is that right? Is that right? Tiger Eye Reflex Traverse. Maybe it's coming in for... Should be coming in for 11. Maybe I've missed something there. Maybe we have missed something there. But hey-ho. Dorinthea is going to allow that Dawnblade to swing again. Does have go again because of the Spoils of War and the Unsheathed. So we are going to be able to swing this again for a large amount of damage, which is pretty good. So just resolving the Tiger Eye Reflex. And here we go again. Another attack for 6 using the floating resource. Coming in for 6 with the Dawnblade. It's a lot of damage just from 1 sword. A lot of damage. And we're just going to take it. So the Dawnblade is going to get another counter. So it's going to put it on 4 counters, which means it swings for 7 each time now. And obviously the copper is going to be generated a little bit more now as well. So closing the gap on the life. Zen has 1 less card. Well, no, he doesn't actually, because he's blocked with the Traverse, which means that he's going to be able to get the Chi into hand. So he's going to be able to use that on his next turn. Obviously, Valiant Dynamo refreshing as well, because obviously you swung twice with weapons this turn, so that is going to refresh, give Zachary an extra life back as well. And of course, Zach still has some equipment block on board as well, with the Grains, with the Iron Song Versus and the Dynamo, so essentially it's 17 life to 18. So that definitely makes sense as to why he took a lot of damage there, just leaning on the armor a little bit if needed. And just swinging back and making sure that Dawnblade can get even more value over time. But we are going to see Trey pitch that Chi that he got earlier from the Traverse to go and get a card with combo and create a Crouching Tiger that he can play. Well, create the Crouching Tiger in hand and go and get the card with combo. Zen things are happening here. But it all started with that insane Glistening Steelblade first turn. That's just insane. It's dominated as well, so there's only so much that Trey could do against that on the first turn. And yeah, that was pretty insane. We are going to see a Crouching Tiger come out for nothing. For no reason whatsoever. And then we are going to see the Breed Anger come out as well. And obviously that's turned on because of the Crouching Tigers. This is the first real attack of the combat chain here, coming in for 4. And of course, you get a Crouching Tiger in this from this card as well. So this is 4 with Go Again, create a Crouch Tiger in your banner show you may play at this turn. So Zachary is just going to take that whole 4 damage, go down to 10 life here. Trey threatening to go a little bit wide on here on this turn, and that's an aspect of Tiger body. So obviously that's all turned on because he's played a red beforehand. And you get another Crouching Tiger in the Banished Zone. And Zach again just taking all of it. Just happy to take all the damage. This is scary. And that's going to come in for 1 because of the Shuko. That's turned on because obviously we've seen a Crouching Tiger for 0 played earlier, and then a Crouching Tiger for another 0. So it's going to be get the buff from the Shuko here. He's just going to take that damage as well, going down to 6. Just saying, I see everything you're chucking at me, Trey. What else have you got? We've got a Mauling Chi on the end here. This is going to hit and kill Zach if he doesn't block this time. Mauling Chi, just a 1 for 6, essentially. If you let it hit, it is a lot of value. Of course, could be tutored from Zen's effect, because it does have combo. Awesome art on that card as well from... Oh, here we go. We are using all of the equipment to just try and block all of the raw damage on the card here of being 5, which means he's not going to trigger the extra damage effect. So covered up nice and clean there by a hit and run and 2 pieces of equipment. So that Iron Song Versus can no longer block. So that is destroyed. And then obviously the hit and run is put to the discard pile as well. And maybe Zach's thinking, yep, I can play a 4-card hand here with my Dynamos maybe refreshing themselves as well, because I'm going to be swinging twice with Dawnblade perhaps. And yeah, we are going to see a Dawnblade come in for 7 now each time, floating 2 from that Iron Song response. Pitched blue there, coming in for 7 damage. And this is the danger zone now, because as soon as you start getting within 1 swing territory of the huge Dawnblade, you can just react over the top and start killing people. We are going to see a glint, which is going to give the Dawnblade go again. So luckily Trey did not block from hand there, just taking the full 7 damage, going down to 11. But it is going to have go again, and he is going to attack again for another 7. So this is 7 damage. He's going to block with both of the equipments here. I think that blocks, what, 3? No, 4? 12 Petal and Shuko. I think that's 4, is it? I can't remember the block value of 12 Petal without Googling it. So it looks like 3 is going to be leaking over the top at the moment, if my maths are correct. That still counts as hitting twice as well, so that means that the Dawnblade will get another counter. There is still an arsenal, still is a hand card here as well. So Zach is just thinking, do I want to try and push over the top if I can't kill this turn? Or do I try and do something else? Maybe try and carry this resource over to another turn with the Grains of Bloodspill. And yep, it's covering 4, so taking 3, that is going to give... And he is going to be putting that resource into the Grains of Bloodspill, which can make a big difference at this point in the game. If you can't use those resources to kill your opponent, just bank them for a future turn. Because that Dawnblade, the only thing that Dawnblade costs now is 1 resource, right? And he's got that resource from the Vigor, so all of the cards in hand can now actually be used to block and still send in that huge Dawnblade for 8. On the swing back if needed. If he does need to expend his entire hand defensively, that Vigor can just crack for swing Dawnblade for 8, which is pretty sick this late in the game against Zen here. So we are going to see a Biting Breeze coming in for 1. I'll see if this hits, you get a Crouching Tiger, which you can play. This might be the time to just curb this turn a little bit. Yeah, block for the Valiant Dynamo. Just get that one value out of the Dynamo and prevent this from creating a Crouching Tiger. Now we are going to see a Stir the Pot, which is going to transcend. So that just means Trey is going to be able to shuffle the deck and transcend the Stir the Pot, and that obviously is going to go back to hand, which means he does have Zen activation available to him here, and a Crouching Tiger that he can play. It's crazy, like looking back at, oh no, this is deadly at this point in the game. Sacred Art Jade Tiger Domain pitching a Chi as well, which means he gets 2 Crouching Tigers. All Crouching Tigers get +1 this turn, and this itself transcends. Wow, this could be the wide turn that Trey needs while Zacharias is on 6 life to maybe close this out, depending on what's in hand and arsenal here. Obviously, we are going to go search for a Chase the Tail from Zen as well, which is going to get another Crouching Tiger that they can play. And obviously, all Crouching Tigers are going to be buffed by +1 as well because of the Jade Tiger Domain. Now, this is where the previous card that you played, what was it? Tiger Swipe, could be utilised as well, which he didn't search for, but it could be utilised to go even wider, depending on what Zach wants to block. But I think Zach just wants to block everything here and then just swing Dawnblade for 8. So maybe that is the right play, getting the Chase the Tail instead. But yeah, you need... One of the only cards that buffs all of your Tigers up by 1 nowadays is that. So it buffs all of your stuff up by +1. I don't know if there's any other cards. Maybe that Ancestry, Path to Ancestry, is it? Not Path to Ancestry. I can't remember what it is, but something that buffs all of your Tigers. Anyway, we are seeing this Tiger Tamer Kakara being blocked out by the Twinning Blade. We are going to see a Crouching Tiger come in for 2 because of the +1 from the Kakara and the +1 from the Jade Tiger Domain. So all Tigers are going to be coming in for +1 this turn because of that Jade Tiger Domain, which is pretty sick. And 2 is not lethal just yet, but we are getting there. Zach is just saying, yep, okay, yeah, I blocked that as well. And the other Tiger coming in for 1 because of the sort of static buff of the Jade Tiger Domain. This is getting down to the crunch time now. Zach just saying, yep, okay, I take that 1, go to 5. And now here we see the Chase the Tail coming in for 4 damage. And obviously after this is going to come another Crouching Tiger for 4 after this. We are going to see another Twinning Blade soaking up 3, taking 1, going down to 4 life for Zach. And now we are going to see another 4 come in with the Crouching Tiger because of the buff from Chase the Tail and Jade Tiger Domain. So coming in for 4. And we still have 1 card left after this. We still have 1 card left after this. And we are going to see the Grains of Blood Spill blocked for 1 here. And is he going to go down to 1 life? Wow. Yeah, he is going to go down to 1. And now the last Tiger coming in for 1. And that's going to be blocked by Glint the Quicksilver. So the whole hand has been offered by Zach to keep him in the game. But that Vigor token is going to be able to just swing for 8 on the Dawnblade. And then I don't know what Arsenal card that is, but if it's a 0 cost reaction, we might be able to do something here. But still, asking Zen the question of, do you have non-blocks in your hand? Because you not only have to block this, you have to try and devalue this Dawnblade right here, right now, if you can. Blocking for 7 here with the Wind Tracker and the Flick Flack. Taking 1 damage, but that's still enough. 1 damage is still enough to retain all of those counters. So could Trey have blocked there? Blocked the whole thing and just said, we had a Winds of Eternity in his hand. So he could have blocked the whole thing and got rid of all of the counters. Now coming in with a Breed Anger for 4. There's no go again on this though. So he could have He could have actually taken all of the counters off of Dawnblade there. But he chose not to. That is interesting. Could have blocked fully to get all of the counters off the Dawnblade, but chose not to for the sake of trying to strip more cards. And Zach happy to block that and retain one card in hand, one card in arsenal. Swing Dawnblade, whatever it is in the arsenal still as well. You're still asking the question of Zen, can you continue to block me? And now he's got one floating. So in this scenario here, if there's a 1 cost in his arsenal that he can play, that's a whole nother load of questions that Trey now has to ask himself. Is why didn't I block the Dawnblade out? Why didn't I get rid of all the counters on the Dawnblade? Blocking for 6. And here it, glistening, singing Steelblade. Goes up to 9. And he can go and get a card. Is that enough though? So if it's at 9, he's blocking for 6. Is that enough? Blocking for 6. He's going to go down to... Is that enough? Glint. Give it go. Can he get... Oh! Yeah. So he can give the Dawnblade go again. Draw a card off of the reprise. And then use that card he drew to swing again. The Dawnblade for 8. Yeah, he draws a card because of the reprise, and he can use that card as a resource to swing again after he's given it go again. Oh my goodness me. That might just be it. That might just be it then. Pitching a precision press to now come in for 8. Wow. Clint the Quicksilver being used as damage there, basically. That is it. Wow. Holy hell. What a game. That was... wow. I would have not have seen that line at all of going to get a Glint the Quicksilver off of the Singing Steelblades to then give it go again because the opponent has blocked with a card. You trigger Reprise, then use that card that you've got from Reprise to use that as a resource to swing Dawnblade again because you've given it go again from Glint. Wow. That was some big brain plays there from Zach, and fair play to taking all that damage early on. And that was a good first turn as well. Obviously, we saw the Dominate go through and the Glistening Steelblade go through, so that really carried you through to the end there, outracing Zen and outpacing Zen. But what a game that was. Congratulations to Zach to go to the 1-0 bracket. Unfortunately, Trey, you're in the 0-1, as Ian says, the Pablo Pintor submarine bracket. But yeah, what a game that was. And I would have never have seen that line. Glint the Quicksilver representing an entire extra swing with Dawnblade because of the reprise triggering to get that card in hand for the extra resource to pitch to swing again. Insane. Only here on the League That Means Nothing. But yeah, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notifications. That even exist anymore? I don't know. But I've been Az from Go Again Gaming, and we'll see you still all over again very, very soon here on the channel. And yeah, until next time. Cheers, folks. Goodbye.